right. Cameras rolling. Action.
With several billion members, the human race is divided in two distinct sexes, male and female. While men are simple creatures requiring only the most rudimentary of emotional needs to be satisfied, there is a subgroup classified as the nice guy, a dying breed of chivalrous, romantic, domesticated gentlemen whose qualities are desired by the opposite sex. Allegedly. However, they are dismissed, scoffed, and confined in such concepts as the bestie, work husband, and the dreaded friend zone.
You don't think this is a little bit too dramatic? Just let it happen.
Joe and Jason are the last of the nice guys.
Welcome, everybody, to the third episode of The Last of the Nice Guys with your host, Joe
and Jason.
We are the last of the nice guys.
Why are you screaming at the audience?
I have no idea. I feel energetic today, and I feel very feel alive. I feel good.
Did you get it in last night? Is that what it is, or?
I did not. I actually beat my own meat. So, with that,
and that is why we are sharing. This is we share with our audience. Well, I'm the one who's single, by the way. So.
By the way, mind you, he said that at least 4 times in the past 20 minutes. I'm not sure what he's getting at, but he needs to.
Maybe I'm in my feelings. Maybe I'm in my feelings today.
He needs to stop with these women and get himself one to settle down. You know, not. Anyway, so with
thanks, Dr. Joe. So tell me, what is our topic going to be about for this rousing episode of the Last of the Nice Guys podcast?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that, my brother Jason. So, our topic for today is going to be the pressures. I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. Oh, the fear of growing old and feeling the pressure of starting a family, i.e., marriage, kids. Maybe you want to move from someplace that you've someplace that you've never been to before in your life, and you want to start your life there. Pretty much the pressures of making big life decisions.
So of being an adult, basically being an adult. Before we get into that, I just wanted to give a shout out to Nicole for sending us a comment on our pilot episode of The Last of the Nice Guys on YouTube. She commented 2 big eyes, ... speak your truth. So she's basically supporting us. And I actually was on Instagram, on what's that thing called? Facebook Messenger, where Facebook Messenger, where she was discussing the topic, and she's interested in seeing what the rest of it's happening. And she even mentioned, she said, wasn't this guy like blonde, like super blonde? And I said, yeah, he was trying something different. And she said, she said, well, good for him. He definitely did. So, she actually did, and I'm gonna read it to you right now, because we're still in conversation while we're recording, because she was curious about this, and she goes, she thinks an opportunity that we could have is that we can get some really good debates and good interesting thoughts going on if we have some interesting characters to join us, some self-proclaimed sugar babies and guys that have been used and abused. So she's requesting or suggesting that maybe we should consider having guests and tell their stories or commiserate with us, or get interviews and interview them based upon their own experiences. So I said I would definitely bring it up to you.
Yeah.
I know that you want us to stay intimate between us, with the exception of the Council of Men that you're coming. And by the way, with that being said,
Yes.
I would like to formally announce that we're hoping for every 10 episodes that we would have a Council of Men. Now, this is basically myself and Joe Tar. We're going to moderate it, and it'll be a Council of Men debating or discussing one of the 9 topics that came previously. So every 10 episodes, we'll go back to an episode that everybody likes. We get a bunch of guys on, and we talk about it. We'd like it to be a random assortment of people, friends, audience. So if you're interested in being part of the every 10 episode Council of Men, by all means, email us at lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com, so we can get your information. We can put you on a contact list, so when we're ready to schedule this, you can definitely join us and get involved, because that's our phrase, join the conversation, and we would love to discuss these topics. So
yes,
throwing out there immediately. So with that being said, by all means, discuss it, Joe, and I will listen attentively.
So everybody, from what I understand, from life experiences and from talking to numerous people, friends, not so much family, but more so friends and friends of friends, and along those lines, a lot of people that I grew up with, actually including this guy over here, Jason, we have all, at least once in our life, tried to figure out or ponder, what are we going to do once we hit a certain age? Are we going to plateau? Are we going to hit at least 40 and not have another child? Or in our case, at least in my case, I definitely want another child. I don't know about you, but
I did. That was the dream, was to have a little girl. Everybody knows I wanted a little girl.
Yeah.
But as time went on, and the likelihood of me meeting somebody worthwhile to procreate with became less and less likely, it went from a requirement to a dream to like if it happens, it happens. Kind of like winning the lotto. So I equate eventually having a baby girl in the future to like somebody winning the lotto. If it happens, great. Will I put an effort by playing the lotto, hoping it'll happen? Sure. But is it something that I'm banking my life on, or a requirement? No, not anymore.
So pretty much slim to none.
Is how I see it now. Is that it's the chances of me having another kid, or procreating in general, especially getting a baby girl, is so slim. Not to say that I'm not getting it in, because I'm getting in it, but that's not the point. The point is that if I'm going to procreate with somebody else, I'm absolutely going to procreate with somebody worthwhile. And the likelihood of finding somebody worthwhile to procreate with is shrinking by the days, and I really don't care.
Oh, so that's fine. That's it's about having patience, but I understand your point of view, because you have been through so much, and you have tried, and things just are not going the way I guess they should or they could. But for other people out there, for other people out there,
for the normal guys,
a lot of folks tend to have this feeling of, if I reach 35 or 40 and I still don't have a house, or I still don't have my career, or I'm still not married. The big one is marriage, from what I heard. What if I don't have these things?
They feel like failures at life.
Exactly. When am I gonna get it? That's the question. When is it gonna happen? And I'm not gonna lie to you. Myself have felt that a couple of times. Now, granted, I have a 10-year-old boy who actually just turned 10, and yeah, and I for 10 years I realized, and I thought to myself, wow, people say the common quote, which is, when you have kids, your life is over. That's not the case at all, actually.
It is over.
No, but it's not. It's over unless you don't do anything with the child or the children.
The life that you have at that moment is over. I'm just being real with you. It's not a matter. You're not gonna die. I'm not saying you're gonna die. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna fall into some kind of depression. But the life that you knew as that moment, the path you were on, the path that you didn't know you were on, the goals and dreams that you have, they're pretty much dead at that moment, because and a new life begins. Kind of like a really, really messed up phoenix kind of thing. So When I say your life, when I tell somebody your life is over, it means that everything you expected or everything you had planned for, that's all going to change. It's very rare, unless you have the means, that when you have a child, that you're going to carry on your life exactly as is. You're just adding another mouth to feed. That's wishful thinking. So that's what I mean when I say your life is over.
Well, yeah, I know. I agree I do agree to some extent. I mean the quote does have meaning towards it, and it is somewhat true.
No,
I
you
think
look completely.
no, but
No,
at the same time, to me it's like a 50-50 thing, and I agree with what you're saying. Like for example, you have for us we have had our children. Actually, you younger than me have had our children when we were very very young, and our lives could have been probably 10 times different if we didn't have our children in our lives. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and we know that
For
for a
for
fact.
for better or for worse.
Yes, for better or for worse. And you know, because of that, sometimes we I know I feel a way about. Sometimes I'll drift off and think about the stuff that I could have done if I didn't have my son. The places I could have been. I may not even have met my current fiance if I didn't have Josine, because I don't think I'd be living in New York. I think I'd be living someplace else, another state. To be
Yeah,
honest.
like Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, 100. I think actually 100%. I would have been someplace else if I didn't have any children. Um, but because I have my son and I love him to death, don't get me wrong.
So
It's just
I can blame your offspring for why we get separated.
I blame my child for me not having to move out of New York and be stuck here. Nothing against New York, by the way. I just am tired of living here.
Agreed.
Agreed. Yeah. So, yeah, I just feel like a lot of people who have things happen to them in at a very early age. For example, the biggest thing is having kids or even getting married super super young. Sometimes it hinders you from doing the things that you want to do and the things that you could have done. And when you have those things, or I mean, rather, when you don't have those things and you are having a pretty decent life, and you reach a certain age, but you still don't have the things that will showcase you in a different spotlight. And also when people keep questioning you about these things, like I know for a fact, my fiance gets questioned practically at least 3 times a week about when are we getting married and when is she having a kid. And I think it's different when the pressure
Are you
hits.
serious?
Yes, at least 2 to 3 times a week, at least.
That's the craziest shit I've heard come out your mouth in a while.
No, I look. It's just crazy. The fact that I hear it from her and she complains about it, it bothers me, because us as men, we get pressured for certain things, but either we brush it off or we kind of like ignore it in some
Right.
odd way. But with women, it's way different. It's much
Well,
more emotional.
women dwell. They're dwellers.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's 10 times more emotional for women, especially if you're engaged. I realize when you're engaged and they see that ring, man, at work, family, friends, it's like a constant. When are you getting married? When is this happening? Blah blah. And I feel super bad for her, because it's and I don't know how to put it in a proper way, but I don't want her to think that anything that we did was rushed, and I feel like that's what she thinks sometimes, that we got engaged in a rushing manner. That's not the case. But the fact that she gets questioned like this, shut the fuck up, Jay. I seen that. the fact, the fact that the fact that she's getting pressured when and she's still very young. She's still in her late 20s. The fact that she's getting pressured from these questions to know when these things are happening is exactly why I have an issue with this topic, because I I do not like when people have to question when you're going to do something in your life. I don't agree with it, especially big moves. I don't like it.
But does that not show that the people in your life are interested in your life? Is that not a good example of somebody showing interest in your life, as opposed to, oh, you're engaged, cool, and never bringing it up?
It
Can't you say
depends.
that? Can't you
It
say that as
depends.
well?
It depends. No, that depends. It depends because if you okay, for example, her mother, which I love dearly, asks actually is one of the people who asks her a lot when it comes to, when she's getting married and whatnot. Now, we already made our plans to what we're gonna do. We have a plan in motion that we want, and we have steps that we're going to take as a couple. Not everybody understands it, and not everybody is going to know about it.
Okay, let's get into it. I mean, so basically, the steps that he's gonna take is he's gonna wake up. She's gonna wake up. They're gonna get dressed in their Sunday best. They're gonna take the D train to the courthouse, and they're gonna sign their wedding paperwork. And that's pretty much it, right? Those are the plans.
Let me tell you where you're wrong. First of all, the D train does not go anywhere near City Hall. This is how much you haven't been living in New York. All right, get the fuck out of that sunny ass fucking Florida place.
Okay, it's the Q. It's the Q, right? It's the Q train. Is it the Q now? What is it?
No, it's not the Q. It's the 2.
The 2 what?
2, the 4, the 5.
Those go to City Hall. What takes me to Church Avenue now? The Q train, right?
Q, the B, and if you want to walk from Nostrand, the 2.
Okay, so I'll take the B. The frig is the B? All right. Anyway, moving on.
Wow.
So okay. All right. So no, of course, what I was saying is just getting under his skin. That's not. I have no idea what their plans are. But yes. So I carry on.
But we have a set plan that we're gonna be going by. We want to first establish getting a house. Then we want to go ahead, settle in that house, and then once we get the house, pretty much things will set forth and happen from there. We getting married in City Hall officially. And then having the ceremony whenever we like, because
I was kind of right. Holy shit.
Yeah, exactly. So that is essentially what we want to do. Yeah, that's essentially what we want to do.
And that's the smart way to do it. I want to make it very clear that all jokes aside, that's the way to do it. You do that, you get married, and then when you're ready and can afford it, or if you even want to, then you have your reception and have everybody celebrate with you.
Right. Exactly. And
that is a very mature thing of you to do, Joe. I'm very proud.
Oh, thank you so much, best friend. And the thing about that is everybody that I mentioned, which is probably like maybe 4 people, including you, that I mentioned about this plan has all said this is a very smart move.
Oh, good. So, I was gonna say, I expected you to say they're gonna tell you it was a dumb move. I was about to get onto a rant, but carry on.
I was like, it's funny when I was telling people about this, I was waiting for them to comment and say, "Oh, it's stupid. You should get married first." And then whoever it was, I would have just walked away in mid conversation, and because I'm an asshole like that sometimes. But
no, I do this. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but that's our plan. That's what we want to do. But again, especially from a woman's point of view, is when you're engaged or when you don't have children yet, and we don't have any children. Me and my fiance don't have any children together. We want children, but she gets that question asked as well. When are you having kids? How long have you guys been together? It's just these stupid pressuring questions that bother her, and for some people it doesn't. Like some people, like I said, men and women can brush it off, but there are a lot of people out there that feel the pressure and the need to hear these questions, and they feel absolutely awful. And that to me is not fair. I don't think it's fair to be bombarded to death with questions. Everybody has their own clock and time as to when they start stuff in life. Agreed. If you want to go ahead and be married at the age of 40 or 45, go right ahead. If you want to go ahead and have kids, well, kids is a different thing, but you're not supposed to be waiting that long. But I guess through science,
you can wait as long as you want, no matter how high risk a pregnancy gets.
Yes, exactly, and that's and that's exactly what I was going to bring up too. I was going to say, through science, I guess you can have children at any age or any time you want, so it doesn't really matter. But once again, feeling the pressure of doing stuff, because other people are questioning you or telling you to start your life or to do things. I think it's complete bull. I don't agree with it at all. I don't think it's like. I think it's a small percentage of someone caring about your life and caring about you. And I think the bigger part of it is just them being very, I guess, either A, nosy about it, or B, not understanding that people run on their own set of time.
They run on their own set of time, but remember, though, that we all live in a society. And unfortunately, because we live in a society expects certain things and certain timetables. So everybody runs on their own time as dictated by social norms. So when you go against the norms, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should be married by 30. So if you're married by 33, okay, you're still in social norms. You're married at 27, you're in social norms. So, you know, everybody has that own clock, but everybody's clock is still set to the same master switch, I guess.
Yeah,
That is
but
the
don't you
social
don't you want to
society.
break that clock? Aren't
Oh
aren't
no, I mean, of course we want to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Of course we want to, but I don't want there to be any miscommunication, believe that where we think that everybody has like legitimate free will. We all have free will to a point, yes, but it's also based upon the society which we live in and the social norms and how we were raised. You know, that nurture versus nature nonsense crap. So, you know, it's
That's
easy to say I'm going to break the norm. It's harder to do it without the societal pressures, just the same pressures you're discussing from family, from friends, um, oh, I'm going to do this. And you were expecting, Rebecca. So, and it's funny because when you told me that you got positive feedback, that's another thing I want to talk about, surrounding yourself with the right people. So the fact that you got positive feedback and they saw the merits in your decision, your choices, means that you have a pretty much surround yourself with the right people. Because
yeah,
there are others
yeah,
that'll get that's that whole, no, that's stupid. You should do it the right way, the
yeah.
typical way. So, kudos to you with the
But
surrounding yourself with the right people.
I just want to add also, but did you know I had to kind of ease my fiance into having this type of mentality. Believe it or not, we didn't even have we didn't well I didn't say we because I've always thought this way. Not to toot my own horn, but
Toot,
um,
toot.
yeah, exactly. Toot toot. She actually hasn't. This is very recent of her to actually formulate this idea that I've come up with when it comes to us doing these steps. So it literally has been like a year old since we've discussed it and been like, you know what, we are better off getting a house because it's a lot easier,
Mhm.
and we can settle down more. And on top of that, I mean, what better way to finish a wedding day by going right back to the place that you live, a fucking house.
Yeah,
So
of course, of
you know,
course.
there's no better feeling in the world coming back to your own home, especially a big day from a big day like that. So yeah, she definitely sank into that idea of having that type of setup, and to me, it's perfect. And I hope I hope when people listen to this topic, especially this topic, and I guess feel somewhat pressured by people in their life, by friends or family. I hope they realize that you know you don't have to feel pressured like that or feel like you need to do something because others are telling you to, or they're asking you when you're going to do it. Just I mean, the way I handle it when people have asked me is like, things are coming along, and we will have what we have when we have it.
I mean,
And
you need to
I
listen,
can't.
Joe, listen. This is a safe place, okay? You can tell what you really said. You told those motherfuckers mind your own business. I know you said that. So, you,
Contrary.
Joe looked at them and said, "Yo, mind your fucking business," and he kept on moving on. That's what Joe did. I know that for a fact, okay? Don't be asking me this
Contrary
question.
to what my brother Jason thinks, there are many times that he hasn't been here that I've actually been very nice. I'm a nice guy. I don't go
I,
ahead and
I didn't know. I never said you're not a nice guy, but I know. But let me choose right now. You above most people have a clear line drawn in the sand. When you step over that line, you get the business. You get Brooklyn. Okay, you get South Side. So I'm saying. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying that I know you. Because I can see you saying, "Yo, watch your mouth," and that's it, and you go from there. So
I'm not even
no,
gonna lie.
you're right.
I've said it to at least maybe three people. Three people.
Exactly. You are a very nice guy, but you have a clear delineation of what you will and will not tolerate, and on a drop of a dime, you will correct somebody, you will correct them. Okay, and that's what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
respect about you. A lot of people, they're nice, and because you're nice, you have to grit and grin and bear your teeth. But you are not one to do that unless somebody's really pressuring you to suck it up. You'll be like, yo, check it out.
Right, right. But
So
certain people, yeah, certain people I can say that to, and certain people I can't. For example, I'm not gonna tell my fiance's mother, when she asks me constantly, and I'm not gonna be like, hey, mind your fucking business or whatever. I'm not gonna say stuff like there are certain there are certain people who I'm not going to say that to because I love her mother. I love her mother a lot, and I have a ton of respect. And she's asking because she's excited and she's very
right. You recognize that it's coming from a good place, right?
Yeah. But if it's like a friend that I don't speak to as much, or they say a couple words here and there on Facebook or Instagram, and they're asking me like twice a month, I'm gonna be like, hey, please, like, you've been asking me constantly, I feel like, and you need to back the fuck up. Like, just relax, because I only when occasions like that. But luckily, that's like I said, it's only happened like 3 times. But what exactly is your stance on this? I mean, do you feel as if I mean, well, first off, let me ask you: Do you get these questions from people like, "Oh, when are you gonna have more kids?" or "When are you gonna get married?"
Not even that. Now the phrase has become even, and it's funny because we speaking back of Nicole again. She just said the same phrase. It's not about when. They're basically saying you need to settle down. You need to settle down. You need to find yourself. I think her exact words were. Let me read this to you. In the message, and this is nothing against this is coming from love, she generally cares,
right?
But this is the consensus that I get from most people. It says here,
He has living proof, ladies and gentlemen. He has proof.
No, I do, because I'm having a conversation right now, and she literally said the phrase. She said, you know what, she goes, seriously, you need to settle down with a decent human. And that was today, like literally 1 o'clock today. So, and that's basically the consensus of most people in my life. They're all saying, it's not about when you get married. It's Jay. It's time. You need to find yourself a good woman. Or I'm waiting for you to find your queen. Or when are you gonna meet somebody worthwhile? And I get this question a lot.
But,
and actually,
but does all these questions affect you in a way where you're like feeling like shit?
It depends. When Nicole asked it of me, I felt the love from it. You know what I'm saying? When other people ask it of me, sometimes I feel it feels derogatory. It feels insulting sometimes. It makes me anxious. And sometimes it makes me hostile. When I'm at my job, my day job, I've been there for so long that my cubicle is my home. This picture's just me and my boys. And of course, I have patients and I have clients that come that I have to work with and stuff. And sometimes, I don't have anything to say, so their eyes wander around my desk, and all they see is me and 2 boys, me and 2 boys, me and 2 boys, right. Me and 2 boys, me and 2 boys, in all the pictures. And I'm not talking about a little bit of pictures. I'm talking about a lot of pictures.
Right.
So they usually will say, "Where's the wife?" or "Where's the girlfriend?"
Oh my God.
And one, you're referencing the mother of my kids, who, whenever I think about that, I get hostile immediately. That's one, unfortunately. Right. And two, that it's okay. Well, you're obviously like a rolling stone. You're procreating. You got 2 kids. They have 2 different shades. So you're probably like, So, and like I get a little hostile. And I actually, before I answer them now, I either shut my eyes or I take a deep breath to give myself pause before the initial defensive reaction. And then I just say, "Oh, no woman, just me, myself, and them, and we're all happy." Something like that. Something very mundane to either diffuse it or make a joke, and hopefully they don't carry on with the conversation.
Right.
But no, nobody's asking me when. It's now they're saying it's time. You need to. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's my rice beeping. Sorry about that. I was quick. I said I'm a very domesticated man, and I was making the beginnings of dinner, and I wasn't sure that Joe was going to contact me early enough for us to record, so I started cooking because I do 16-hour fasting, so I'm starving right now. So
ladies and gentlemen, by the way, he can cook. So any women out there who are looking to use him for cooking, please contact Jason.
Well, I mean, I have other traits than just cooking. You can use a lot more things about me, just making it very clear. So
I am just kidding. He can definitely do a lot.
Yeah, well, so I just realized that you just said I just realized because you did partake in 2 of the nights in Chicago when I cooked every single night for the guys, because I said basically to save money. I'm also a very frugal individual, and I sat there and said, look, it's gonna be super expensive for us to be eating out every single night while we're in Chicago.
And
So
it was.
it was.
Yeah.
And so I came up with the idea saying, well, I'm gonna be sick, I'm gonna be fasting. I'm cooking, period. I said I'm willing to cook for us every night if you guys want to take over my Uber thing for a little bit. And that's what I did. I bought all the meats. I pre-seasoned everything the night before. I flash froze everything. I packed all those suckers into a freezer bag, put that freezer bag into my carry-on, and boom, took that bad boy to Chicago. And against all odds, because I think both, I don't know, I don't think you said anything, Joe, but definitely the other two guys said you can't do that. I said, watch me, and I brought all the meats and I cooked every. You're talking about a long day of filming, a long day of walking around and enjoying ourselves. And while these suckers got on the phone checking in with their significant others, lying to them. No, I'm sorry, not lying.
No, I definitely wasn't do that.
But
Yeah.
no, but telling them their day.
Trying to get me killed.
I was in the kitchen, and I was slaving away, and I was doing my thing, man. So
No, he definitely, yeah, he cooked. Oh man, I don't think I've had a better meal than that when it came to me being like away from New York, especially like a home cooked meal.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think I've had anything better than that because
It's funny. I'm so used to cooking that I forget to say the words home cooked meal. Yes, it was home cooked meal. We're talking about fresh rice, fresh seasoning, fresh meats that were thought out. So yeah, I'm good at what I do. I'm definitely good at what I do. I've been called upon many times by female friends and friends, girlfriends to help them cook for events because not only am I good at what I do, I'm quick at what I do, and I enjoy it. That's one of the things that I enjoy, and I enjoy when not getting praised, but I enjoy when somebody's like, "Yo, that was the bomb." Like the pot of I don't know why, but you guys seem to love the freaking pork chops. I think they're okay. I didn't do anything special.
They were fucking. What do you mean? They were amazing.
That's what I'm saying. They're okay to me. They're okay, but friggin', especially one of the friends that was so like into it, and he specifically requested pork chops because we had done a camping, overnight camping on one of these little islands off of Miami Beach.
And I wasn't invited, by the way.
Well, yeah, you weren't part of the crew at the time. You know what I'm saying? You were saddled with something else, some other tenderoni. And I also did the same thing. I pre-made the meats. I brought it over. And I did some cooking on the bonfire, and I think that's where he was first introduced to my pork chops. And he demanded these. Like, I need pork chops. So
they were really they were memorable. They were very memorable pork chops. Put it that way. They really were.
Well,
I thoroughly enjoyed them.
I'm glad. But yes, that's where I am. But when you talk about adulting in general, I would say that myself and my father before me, we're definitions of what is called a dream deferred. Okay, a dream deferred is somebody who has goals and aspirations, and through their own means or through the universe or through circumstances beyond or within their control, the dreams that they had, the potential that they had was, in their opinion, lost. So is this where you pull out the small violin for me? No, I'm not saying that I'm miserable. I am not saying that my life is crappy. But what I am saying, though, is that the plan that I had, where I should be, where I wanted to be, I am nowhere near that. So what I'm doing with my adulting is what I call turning a frown upside down, making the most out of the cards you dealt yourself. Yeah. Again, this is not about being depressed. This is not even about being down on your luck or even being negative. It's about being realistic. I made some poor decisions in my youth. We're talking about 1920. Okay. A poor decision, which fundamentally altered the course of my life. And every day after that was just me trying to mitigate the consequences and to find the joy in it. So of course, had things gone the way I planned, this podcast wouldn't exist. This audio that I'm using wouldn't exist. This recording studio, this is all because I would have been in a different path. Right. So everything that I do is to mitigate where my life deviated from the plan. And it's funny because not everybody has, and I am fortunate to know the moment that when my life forked. A lot of people wake up and say, "How did my life turn into this? What happened?"
Right,
You know,
right.
and I personally am happy to say that I know exactly when my life split, when it's forked, or what I call the twilight of my life, even though it happened very, very young. And that gives me some solace, because I know that that's what happened. You have to acknowledge your mistake, and you have to then um, work with it. So
Yeah,
I'm actually one of the, the few out there that say, listen, this is where I went wrong, but I'm still gonna do the best that I can with it. So that's where I am on adulting, and the concept of not living up to your own potential because of reasons, and then
right,
people also looking at you saying, weren't you this or weren't you that, or you know,
right.
so like all my peers now or beyond you are finally now catching up with me with procreating. You're talking about 15 years,
Yeah,
13 to 15 years into me procreating. Only now are my peers even getting close to where I am when it comes to that level of responsibility, that level
right.
of life changing. So, like, as they're just beginning, I'm phasing out. I got teenagers now. They don't need much of me. They cook, roof over their head, they're cool, they're good to go.
Yeah,
They're on their way out. I just as people are just on their way in. So as I'm gonna
yeah.
get my life back, in theory, those who are kind of doing their thing will now it balances out. So now I'm gonna be like, where's everybody? So that's pretty
Well,
much what it is.
you actually have you have a good advantage over some people. I mean, because the way I see it with you, you have like a flip of the coin. One side is like how you described it, and the other side is exactly how you described it just now. Also, with which is basically your kids are on the way out.
No,
So you
dude,
have
I realize but my oldest is now in high school, and I
yeah,
realize that I'm going to be 38, only 38, when I have a college student. Then I'll be 39 when I have another college student. Okay, my parents were in their 50s or 40s, late 40s when. So I have a good 10, 15 years ahead. Don't get me wrong, it's for me to enjoy it. So literally, I'll still be of an age where if I want, I can hang with my kids and take them to the first strip clubs if I want to, and it wouldn't feel weird because I am still within a
yes,
good a decent age range to still be that way.
and
So I'm
and
not.
and just to let me just chime in real quick with this. This man's children, his two boys, are I should say. I mean, from what he told me, from what I know, they're very well groomed, and I feel like when they get to that point of being on their own, I feel like they will be very prepared. From what you've told me, what I've seen, you
I
are grooming them very
I
well.
would I would like to I would like to say that. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And it's true. I hold them in a high regard, but at the same time, because they're in a split household, um, I can only do the best that I can with half the time that I have with them.
Right,
So me and their
right.
mother we share pretty much 50-50 custody. So I know how they are with me, and I do know they're significantly different when they're with her. And after that, I don't know how much of what they're learning with her and
Right.
her household and her family and her husband, how much of that is rubbing off on them as well. See what I'm saying? So, and when they go off on their own, they're not going to act a certain way when they're with their mom or a certain way when they're with their dad. They're going to now have to figure out pieces of those two experiences, putting it together and becoming their own person. So I
Yes,
don't know.
yes.
I don't know who that person will be until they come back from a couple of years. And I realize, okay, well, you got this from me, you got that from your mom, and then you figure this out on your own, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it
hopefully they learn. Hopefully they definitely kind of grasp two aspects between you both,
correct.
and
And
yeah,
I'm not at all saying that they're learning only negative traits when they're with their mom. That's not what I'm saying at all.
right,
But
right.
do I feel that my traits, my mannerisms, my domestication, my raising is superior? Yes. I am not going to um sugarcoat that. I do believe it's superior. I do, but in no way, no how. But I'm not saying how superior. Maybe for all you know, it's like this. So what I am saying though is that I'm no way implying that their time with her is at all negative and that they're not learning anything positive. I mean, they're getting some spirituality out of there, and that's not something they'd get from me because I'm not
Right,
a
right.
spiritual individual at all. And spirituality, I guess, with the morals, that could be something, you
Yeah,
know. So
it could. You're right.
don't get it twisted. I'm not saying, divorcing myself from how I feel about her, and not at all am I complaining, am I implying that it's strictly negative. What I am saying though is that I don't know what they're learning over there, as opposed to what I am teaching and what I am trying to set an example for. So.
Maybe this should be a topic in the future when it comes to we should probably share that in the future.
Oh, yeah, co-parenting. We have that on the list.
Yeah. Oh, we do. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
co-parenting on the
Yeah.
list because you and I both
Oh,
have that issue with co-parenting.
oh
Me
yeah.
more so than you,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but
Definitely.
yeah. So final thoughts on the troubles and the woes of adulting.
Oh, please, anybody who's listening, just take your time, man. Like, unless you have and I don't mean this with the utmost negativity, but unless you have a life-threatening disease, and you know that your way is going, your time is about done. Unless that is happening, please take your time with when it comes to adulting and enjoying life. Like, you want to be able to be in your 20s and do the best you can with it and try to get out as much as you can. I'm not saying having a kid in your 20s is the worst thing in the world, but it
I
does
am.
stop it. It does stop you from doing the things that you want to do. And we are living proof because we both, again, have children and we had them at a very young age. So, just take your time, man. Get married at the age of 40 if you want, or 35 or 30, or if things are even great in your, in someone in your life, get married at fucking 25 or 27 or 28.
Yeah,
But
basically, if it happen when it happens is when it happens. But
exactly.
like my mother my mother says, nothing before it's time. So
Yep.
nothing's gonna happen. You can't force it. If it's not ready, if it's not the time, it's just not the time.
Right.
So, don't let anybody pressure you into something or settling down with anybody. Don't don't do what Joe did to his fiance where he pressured her into settling down. Okay, don't let anybody pressure you into anything, okay? No matter what no matter what they have on you, okay?
Oh man.
No matter what they're blackmailing you with, okay, don't let them stop.
and this and this is why this man is a jerk off. So,
Yeah,
with that
I am.
being said, man, you know what? Sometimes I feel like that it was the case, but I'm only kidding myself. It's not.
No, it's not. You're a catch. You're a catch. I mean,
I am. I'm a huge catch. I'm a
you
fucking
are.
huge catch. Like
Yes.
one of those big bass fucking fish that they catch on those tournaments, on those pro fishing. That's me. That's the
Right.
big, yeah. That's the
Oh
big.
no, I thought I was gonna say you're one of those really nice fish. Did you catch it in one of those ponds, but you throw back into the water? You know what I'm saying? You know where you can't keep the fish, you have to reel it in, take a picture, and throw
Jason
it back in
Jason
the
is
water.
like that.
So,
Jason is like that. Those koi fish. They have the little whiskers because he can't grow that much of a beard. And you look at them and they look
low
so
blow, man. That's a
nice.
low blow.
So with that being said, man, that is our topic for today.
Yes.
And this the shameless social media promo, which is I have to get it right, man. What can you help me with that again with the social
What's
media promo?
what's that? What do you mean, like the outro? Just saying what it is?
Yeah, no, because I always forget that we're using Yahoo as a domain.
Oh, Yahoo. Well, what did you want to use? I mean, we originally were using Outlook, but we couldn't get that, and Gmail didn't have it. And
Yeah,
Yahoo had
the
it.
Gmail, the one when we couldn't get Gmail, I was very upset
Yeah,
because I love
Gmail.
Gmail.
I really wanted that, but then again, if I realized if I just did it as Last Nice Guys, but I always wanted to be Last of the Nice Guys. But guys, thanks for tuning in to the Last of the Nice Guys podcast, the trials and tribulations of adulting. Definitely follow us on social media. You actually hear that at the end. We actually have a voiceover guy that says this stuff, so we don't have to say it anymore. Believe it or not.
Oh, great.
Yeah, our outro, which I forget his name. I think it's Michael something. He's our resident Morgan Freeman voice that we use. It's actually at the end.
Yeah,
So definitely stay tuned to the end to hear our social medias. But for our personal social medias, Joe, you want to give them yours?
sure. Mine is Joe. Oh, this is Instagram, Instagram and Twitter. I don't use Facebook. I don't really use Facebook for a lot of things except for getting my news. So Instagram and Twitter is where you can find me. Send me a message and anything else that you would like to say, whether it be negative or positive. I really don't give a shit. I'll answer it. My Instagram is Joe Joetarro, and Twitter is JoeTarrro.
Fantastic. I'm Jason. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, VibeRev Studios. It's VibeRevStudios. Now, even though it is for my studio, I also do personal stuff on there too, so you can check stories out and see, things with me, my kids, and whatever. You can send me messages. You can slip into my DM. Definitely email us at lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com if this topic resonated with you, or if it or if you feel like you wanted to bring something on, or again, if you want to join the Council of Men, by all means, send us an email. Let's put you on the list. Let's join the conversation. Don't be shy. Nothing at all that you say is wrong. We will read it. We will get into it. So that's it. Thanks again, and stay tuned for more.
The Last of the Nice Guys. Follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram at Last Nice Guys. Facebook.com/Last Nice Guys, or email lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com.
This is an audio production of Vibe Revelation Studios, the cure for your common day. VibeRevStudios.com.